If you've been scrolling through YouTube lately, chances are you stumbled across one of Chad Kimball's ads boasting about his easy local cash method to make money online. And in case you didn't know, he teaches lead generation by ranking and renting Google Map listings to local businesses for profit. But the more you learn about his Google Maps SEO course, aka Google Maps Elite, you'll start to realize that he doesn't really have it figured out like he claims. Something that others who have already taken his program have also discovered, maybe perhaps too late. After doing some intense digging into Chad and the program itself, I'm actually pretty confident to say this. The reviews I dug up paint a pretty concerning picture of Kimball's course, and one thing that really stuck out to me was the alarmingly low student count, which really suggests a lack of experience in the coaching space itself. Also, stories of verbal abuse from one Redditor during a scheduled coaching call really left a bitter taste and honestly raises more questions about the integrity of the coaching offered. Also, the constant rebranding of Chad's platform from the Arbor Academy to Google Maps Elite to local autopilot, which also adds another layer of confusion for potential students and really makes you question the legitimacy of his course. Now, digging further, it really became clear to me that his heavy emphasis on getting rich quick tactics may not be the type of approach you'd expect from a top-notch lead gen course. Also, his heavy focus on Google Maps seems to blatantly ignore the bigger picture of lead generation and SEO itself, which is also something to seriously think about if you're handing this guy over your cash. As for his course content, it's been called out for being too vague on the internet, also coupled with the price tag of nearly $7K, really raises questions about what you're getting for your money. So it's questionable to invest in a lead gen course that only offers a fraction of the knowledge available online for free. And trust me guys, lead generation is a vast business model and there's quite a lot of information to know. With that being said, uncovering information about Chad himself and the exact cost of his courses also proved to be a challenging task, adding to the mystery of the whole entire thing. Most of the information that I was able to find on his course itself was through these online reviews, just throwing that out there. So in the world of making money online, I know the allure of getting rich quick can be quite tempting, but you have to keep in mind the countless warning signs from Chad Kimball's students that suggest that the reality of his Google Maps SEO course might not perfectly align with the promises made in his very convincing YouTube ads. With that being said, guys, if you'd like to learn more about my #1 recommendation for making money online, please don't forget to visit the link in the description below. And just a little disclaimer here, this video is all about Chad Kimball, but let me say I have no affiliation with him or any of his programs. This is just my honest opinion based on what I found through hours and hours of gathering research, so you basically don't have to. Before you come to conclusions about Chad Kimball, remember to do your own research. You can also find any of this information online. Having said that, it is not the best course out there for lead generation, and here is why. Alright guys, so reviews are pouring in from both YouTube and Reddit about Chad Kimball's coaching, and the advice given is less than stellar. His low student count is a most notable concern, also raising questions about Kimball's coaching itself. It seems more like a deserted coaching space, making me and a lot of others, I'm sure, very skeptical about the quality of guidance. Also added to the mess are claims of verbal abuse during coaching calls by Kimball's sales team. That's a red flag for sure that shouldn't be part of any coaching experience. Now, with that being said, there are also claims that he and his team heavily promote the concept of getting rich quick, which, if you think about it, is also another huge red flag for obvious reasons. Honestly guys, good things never come easy, and any guru who tries to tell you otherwise leaves me, and I'm sure many others, questioning his true motives. Now what's more, the constant name changes of Kimball's program, from Arbor Academy to Google Maps Elite to local autopilot, is also pretty questionable, guys. It really makes you wonder about the stability and credibility of his education being offered. Now, all of these factors might honestly be a context clue as to why he's only currently at 1,800 students. And if you're considering Kimball's coaching, it's very important to take these reviews seriously, because there could be a lot more to the story than what's shown in his flashy ads. So here's the deal on Chad's game plan. It's got a pretty intense spotlight on Google Maps. Now, don't get me wrong guys, Google Maps can be a very handy tool, but in the grand scheme of generating leads and diving into the SEO world, it's just a very small piece of the pie, and things can get very tricky from there. You see, Kimball's big claim to fame is that if you can hit those high ranking on Google without even bothering with backlinks or offsite SEO, then you're golden. It's a bold statement for sure, and he's all about the keep it simple approach. But here's the thing. SEO can be applied using multiple tactics, and ignoring some of those tools in the toolbox might just leave you missing out on its full value. And what's got me and probably a lot of others scratching our heads is this apparent lack of enthusiasm for teaching or even using a range of SEO tactics. It's like he's saying, hey, let's just keep our focus short, you don't need to know the bigger picture. Now, call me skeptical, but in the world of lead generation, a comprehensive approach tends to be the name of the game. And I don't know about you, but if I'm shelling out some serious cash for a lead gen course, I'd want the whole pie, not just a measly piece. The SEO world is so dynamic, and it's about adapting and leveraging multiple strategies to stay ahead. So limiting yourself to just one technique, especially if it's Google Maps centric, might feel a bit like trying to conquer the digital world with one hand tied behind your back. So if you're eyeing Kimball's course and thinking about making that investment, just know that you might be getting a masterclass in nothing but Google Maps, but you could be missing out on the buffet of SEO tactics that can elevate your lead generation game to a whole new level. All right, guys, let's talk about the elephant in the room with Kimball's course, the content. Rumor has it, it's about as clear as mud. Vague doesn't even begin to cover it, meaning students are shelling out almost $7,000 for what seems to be nothing more than an intro course. Now, I'm all for a bit of mystery, but when you're investing top dollar in a course, you'd expect at least a good roadmap, right? And here's the kicker. All the talk about it online suggests that what you're paying big bucks for is floating around for free on YouTube. Yes, you did hear me right. So I guess the sticker shock here isn't just about the cost. It's about the value, or apparent lack thereof. But let's shift gears to the man behind the curtain, Chad Kimball himself. Ever tried finding detailed info about this guy? I know for me, it felt like the more I looked, the more questions I had. And a quick Google search doesn't reveal much about who he is, where he comes from, or his background in the lead gen space. It does leave you wondering who he is and why he claims to be holding all of these SEO secrets. And why the secrecy surrounding the cost of his program. If he's putting a premium price on his knowledge, wouldn't transparency about the investment be a courtesy to his students? So if you're considering diving into Chad Kimball's course, brace yourself for a double mystery, both the content you're paying for and the man himself behind the SEO curtain. It might just leave you with more questions than answers. At the end of the day, Chad Kimball's coaching is making some definite waves on the internet, and not all of them are good. Countless reviews online point to a low student count and absentee coaching when they need it the most, which should really make you question if he's actually the right coach to give your money to. There's also the fact that people feel verbally abused during coaching calls with Kimball's team. Coaching calls should always be helpful, never hurtful, not to mention his constant name-changing game. But the biggest question mark here, guys, is Kimball's big focus on Google Maps. And sure, it is useful, but saying you don't need other important things like backlinks or offsite SEO is like saying you only need one tool to build a whole house. And I must say, if you're charging this much for what's essentially a mini course on lead gen, why keep the cost a secret? You'd at least want to know what you're getting in return, especially if that info is more openly available online than you thought. So if you're thinking about jumping into Chad's course, maybe take a step back and think twice. The signs are there, and it might be a good idea to think about those first. All right, guys, if you're here, it's probably because you're looking for a legit way to make money online. And if that's you, I have way better recommendations than what Chad Kimball offers in 2023. As always, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want to learn more about my #1 recommendation to make money online that goes way beyond SEO coaching, be sure to click the link in my description below.